Put an exclamation point, not a period at the end of that, but that's not what many people were expecting today. So what's Lindsay going to do now? Fight the charges or agree to a deal and go to jail? She has until March 10th to decide. Joining me now, criminal defense attorney Donald Schweitzer. Also with me, chief correspondent for Inside Edition, Jim Murray. He's also the author of The Last Day of My Life. All right, Jim, you're in the courtroom today. How would you describe the reaction to the judge throwing around that four-letter word, jail, jail, no deal without jail?
Well, I was sitting next to Lindsay's father, Michael Lowen, and before it started, I said, do you think she's going to jail? He said, no, not happening. And after the judge made that announcement, his mood changed. I think you saw briefly on camera in that segment, Lindsay was very serious. You know, so many times we've asked this question, has she hit bottom yet? Does she get what's going on yet? And does she finally realize the consequences? This judge made it very clear. No contest or guilty, she's going to jail. The DA wants 6 months. So, you know, to your question, would you fight it? I would be inclined to fight it, to be honest with you.
Donald Schweitzer, I want you to take a listen now. We put together a little collection of some of the warnings that Lindsay Lowen has received in some of her court appearances from various judges. Take a listen.
This case does involve jail time, period. What I'm telling you is you need to follow the laws just like everybody else. Look around this room. Everyone in this room has to follow the law.
Only clean tests and has been a good probationer, but I certainly understand the reason that Ms. Myers is asking for probation to be revoked at this time.
Well, a good probationer doesn't pick up a new case.
I couldn't have been more clear. She knew that Ms. Myers was going to be asking for jail time, and yet, still, after all of that, she did not comply with the court's order, and the court does find her in violation of probation.
All right, Donald, at what point has she run out of opportunities, and how much, what do you think this judge does if she agrees to a deal? Not necessarily a deal or an agreement with the prosecutor, but just says, all right, I'll admit to what I did, and I'll put my destiny in your hands, Judge Schwartz. I mean, she's gotten many chances before here, Donald.
Vinny, the time is up. Now she's facing a felony, and she's facing a charge where she committed a felony while on probation. That's completely different than what she's seen in the past. This judge meant what he said. I just have to question what he did, because I think he's almost talking her out of entering a plea. He probably would give her a better deal than what the DA would give her, and he's almost saying, if you plead to me, you're going to jail. Do you understand that? So don't plea in front of me, which is going to force her to go to a preliminary hearing and forum shop. I mean, she might be able to get this thing steered to a different judge who will think differently, but I just...
Well, what the judge said today, what the judge said is, listen, if you don't enter into a plea or admit what you did, a no contest type of plea, then it's going to a different judge for a preliminary hearing and a violation of probation hearing. That's all going to happen at the same time. And I think that's a problem for Lindsay Lowen, because the burden is so much less for a violation of probation, and in a preliminary hearing, you're going to have the same judge making all those decisions. So I think she's really backed into a corner here. And
there's no question.
And I don't know, maybe Judge Schwartz gives her the best possible sentence, but she's got to come to the realization that jail is for real this time. Let's go to Debbie, who's in Virginia tonight. Good evening, Debbie.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. Your thoughts about Lindsay Lowen and what happened today?
Well, to me, she's run out of corners. And if she had served the time that she was supposed to have served the first time, she wouldn't have violated probation, nor would she have done what she's done this time.
That's interesting, Debbie. Thanks so much. Jim Murray, when I was a prosecutor and I would see these people come in, and every time they come in, the lawyers are always asking for just another chance. Just one more chance, Your Honor, just one more. Well, she's had 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 chances.
More.
Do you think that her attorney can convince her to come into court, admit what she did, and voluntarily go to jail?
You know, this particular issue is tough for me, because what's the underlying charge? The charge is theft in this case, right? That Lindsay walked out of a store with the intent to steal it. The issue here, and it's very peculiar to celebrity in Los Angeles, celebrities get given things all the time. Here, wear it, bring it back when you want, keep it, you know, and Lindsay wouldn't be the person to broker a deal like that. It would be one of her underlings, and Lindsay could argue, hey, you know what, I thought I was being given this as a gift or just to wear. So that's my problem. This didn't have to be pushed as a felony.
Sure. But you know what my problem is, Jim? My problem is,
What's
Jim,
that?
like regular people don't end up in court so many times.
I know. I know.
You never be
Look,
in that position. At some point, you run
Vinny,
out of credibility in front of a judge, right?
I agree. I mean, look, she's the exact age of one of my daughters, and I keep looking at her as a parent, thinking she's got to learn. She's got to learn. I agree with you. You know, this is really, she's in a tough place. The best she can hope for is some miracle between now and the 10th where the charges are dropped, which I don't think is going to happen.
Donald Schweitzer, I want you to play an interesting role here. I want you to play fashion police. And again, this is a serious question, though, because she comes
You're
into...
asking the wrong guy. I wear gray suits, Vinny. Come on.
But you go into courtrooms every day. Do people come into courtrooms dressed like Lindsay Lohan? Does that show disrespect for what's happening? Does that show because her father said, it's just Lindsay being Lindsay. If she put on some sort of dress suit, she'd be, you know, everyone know that's not Lindsay. But you know what? When you have a client or somebody who's accused of something, you tell them to put on the standard court clothes, right?
Vinny, that might tell us that there's a lack of client control here because all of us good attorneys, including you, tell our clients, hey, dress like you're going to church. Wear something respectful to the court. Now, this probably was told to her, but there isn't any client control. If she's walking in like that, it tells me that the client is controlling the attorney. Very bad.
Yeah. And she didn't walk in today. You know, I hate to put it in these words, but I mean, the cameras caught her. She bounced into court today. And to me, that just seems inappropriate and disrespectful to the proceedings and not understanding what's going on here.
Her demeanor means everything. Yeah, her demeanor means everything.
And
she needs to come in there and understand that everybody's watching her.
Donald, Jim Murray, great to see you both. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Vinny.
Sure.
Up next, a